Today on September 21st, Archangel Michael says, the next 3 days are extremely crucial for you because someone has found that you are open it quickly. Archangel Michael says, listen closely and do not look away. A curtain is lifting over your life, and in the soft crackle of this moment a hidden truth is stepping into the light. Someone has discovered what you carry, what you are, and what your arrival means to the path ahead. You feel it like a current in the air, a hum in your chest that refuses to quiet down. It is the kind of feeling that makes even ordinary sounds feel amplified, every tap, every whisper, every note of your name turning in the wind. The timing is not random. It was always meant to be now. For months you have walked with a weight you could not name, turned doors day closed, certain faces felt allure, and certain days ray long with silence. Yet inside that silence, something was aligning in your favor, stitching your steps to a precise and sacred pattern. What had been found about you is not gossip, not rumor, not a flimsy storyline thrown together by jealous hearts. It is a recognition of essence, your ability to change the outcome just by showing up. Word has moved like a spark across dry grass, quick and unstoppable, landing at the feet of those who watch you closely. In hushed circles, your name has been invoked with equal parts awe and anxiety. Some do not understand your softness. They mistake your kindness for hesitance. Others see in you the rare combination of courage and care, a combination that does not break under pressure, only refines. Over the next 3 days, choices will knock like drums. They will not ask politely for permission. They will ask for your presence. This is not a time to shrink. This is not a time to second guess. This is the first of 3 dawns that belong to you. Day 1 begins with clarity. A message will echo your way, perhaps a call, a quiet note, or an unexpected meeting that feels like a clean blade cutting through fog. You will know it by the stillness inside your chest suddenly transforming into purpose. The path will not twist. It will straighten. Something about your energy has been mapped and measured by someone who did not expect to be moving. They watched you long enough to understand that you are not for sale, not for bending, not for breaking. And that is where their fear started. And that is where your freedom begins. You carry a blueprint others cannot read until they step out of their shadows. Your decisions are infused with a kind of intuition that does not ask for permission to be right. The one who found you now understands this, and that understanding awakens many sleeping rooms. But do not be naive about attention. Attention is a currency and a weapon where love gathers and beleaguer. Where truth stands tall, falsehood attempts to borrow its posture. Over the next 3 days, your discernment will be your lantern. Keep it lit. You will notice small misalignments attempting to claim your peace, a misworded promise, a late reply soaked in hesitation, a smile that does not reach the eyes. Do not panic. Do not chase. Let every signal reveal itself without your help. Observation is your shield. By midday of day 1, you will feel an urge to clean. Clean your desk, clear your phone. Sort your papers. Archive what is finished and release what no longer holds meaning. This practical sweep is not random. It is ritual. It makes space for the message that wants to land. In the afternoon light, memory will return like a friend with good news. You will remember when you always gave up, when you almost agreed to be smaller to fit in. You will remember the moment you chose not to. That decision marked you, and that mark is what has been found. Night will not fear you. Night will recognize you. The stars will spread like a map, and the map will be familiar. Even your breath will sound different in your own ears, steady, measured, certain. This is what happens when purpose draws near, even silence changes its color. They too will ask you to lock in. You will need a boundary, a real one, not the kind built of polite language and wishful thinking. A boundary made of timing, of access, of how easily you let others into your quiet planning. Not everyone can breathe the air you breathe when you are building. You are not hard to love. You are hard to fool. And because of that, some people will try to rewrite your story so that it suits their pace. They will talk about urgency while trying to stall you. They will talk about loyalty while prioritizing themselves. Notice the mismatch. A door will open that should have opened long ago. It will be subtle, not loud, a gentle click, not a shout. Inside is an invitation embroidered with your true name, the name that exists beneath, the one the world uses. Your work is to step through without bringing doubt as a +1. The one who found you does not know what to do with the discovery. They wanted proof of your strength to use, not to honor. They believe knowledge equals control. They are learning the difference. Knowing you does not grant mastery over you. It grants responsibility to treat you with respect. Do not argue about your worth, do not perform your value like a trick. In the second morning light, speak less and do more. Take one action that leaves no space for misunderstanding. Send the note. Sign the form. Decline what keeps your wings folded. If a shadow from the past calls your name, let it speak once and be done. The past can be a teacher, not a landlord. You have paid enough rent to old rooms. It is time to hold the deed to your own house of peace. On the afternoon of day 2, something that once felt complicated will become simple. An answer arrives, a path unknots, you will sense the lift, like a hand under your back as you float where you once sank. The shift is real and it has been earned. Between twilight and night, your courage will ask for a witness. Give yourself that gift. Write what you know. Whisper what you need. Promise yourself you will not betray your own timing again. You will feel the promise click into place. Day 3 is arrival. It is not fireworks. It is a sunrise. Quiet, inevitable, non-negotiable, it does not ask for applause. It brings its own light. And in that light, the truth of you stands whole. On day 3, the mirror tells the truth. You will see what they found and finally understand why it matters. You are the turning point, not by force, by presence. Your presence reorganizes rooms, recalibrates plans, and calls forth integrity in those who still remember how to practice it. Some will step closer. Some will step back. Let both movements be blessed. Proximity is not proof of love and distance is not proof of hate. People move according to what they are ready to carry. You carry a lot. You have prepared for this. You can hold it. When the call or message arrives that morning, do not rush and do not stall. Read once for content. Read twice for subtext. Read a third time for peace. And answer from your center. Your center is the only place anyone can meet you now. You may be asked to choose between the easy applause and the quiet path that transforms everything. Choose the quiet path. The applause fades, transformation feeds you forever. This discovery about you is not a threat. It is an unveiling. You are not in danger of being replaced. You are in the process of being revealed. The old labels fall away like husks, and what remains is clean, vivid, and unmistakable. Over these 3 days, keep a short list of what matters. 5 lines will do. 1 for your peace, 1 for your boundaries. 1 for your craft. 1 for your beloveds. 1 for the future self you are apprenticing with every choice you make. There is a paper to sign or a door to decline. There is a project to position or a rumor to ignore. There is a number to call back or a number to block. Each decision is small by itself, but together they form a spine that does not bend. You will notice how easily other people try to hand you their urgency like a hot coal. Do not hold it. Put it down. Urgency without purpose burned. Purpose without panic builds. If the person who found you wants partnership, let them meet the standard of truth. Make them speak plainly. Make them show their work. Make them offer timing that respects your life. You do not have to be suspicious. You only need to be clear. Clarity is not cruelty. Boundaries are not walls. They are fences with gates you control. When you remember that, your heart relaxes, and your decisions get sharp without getting hard. In moments of uncertainty, step into simple tasks. Watch the cup. Fold the shirt. Name the next action and take it. Anxiety cannot sit in a body that is moving with intention. Some conversations must happen in daylight. Some signatures must wait till morning. Some opportunities must be asked to knock again in a week because your yes means something and must be protected. Call your yes back to your side and pet it like a loyal animal. Keep it close. You may feel a strange grief as the old version of your life loosens its grip. Let it be tender. Let it be real. Grief and growth share a border. Crossing it is not betrayal. It is continuation. Expect a dream that arrives the second night with a symbol you recognize. Keys, a stairwell, an unlocked gate, a long bridge that does not sway. Expect to wake with a sentence that feels delivered, not invented. Write it down. That sentence will be a lantern in your pocket on day 3. Your body already knows how to carry this. Biguar. Breathe deep. Step outside. Put your hands on your chest. Then your neck. Then your head. Thank the parts of you that have kept vigil in long nights. Gratitude turns rusty locks. Someone thought your light was quiet enough to hide. They were wrong. Your light does not shout, but it does not disappear. It moves like a tide, returning to shore with offerings you did not expect to find again. If you feel a tremor of fear, do not scold yourself. Fear is a messenger, not a governor. Listen. Translate. Respond. Then continue. Every brave step shrinks fear to its true size. A confession may come in words or in behavior. Watch what people do when your truth is present, words or leaves, behavior is root. Tend your garden accordingly. 3 days is not long, but it is enough. Enough to pivot. Enough to claim. Enough to reorder your yes and no. Your open and close. Your now and later. Enough to stop rehearsing a smaller life and begin inhabiting the one that fits. You are not late. You are not early. You are on time for your own unveiling. What they found about you was only a rumor. What you are discovering about yourself is the truth. Let the truth become a schedule, one that honors rest, one that values art, one that keeps your circle clean, one that calls in partners who build, not borrow. Let the truth choose your language. Quiet when it must be. Clear when it needs to be, verse when it's called for. As these days unfold, let your attention become a scout for wonder. Notice the way the light lands on the table. Notice the way a stranger holds the door. Notice the way your own voice sounds when you speak from your spine. These are coordinates on your new map. A letter will arrive, physical or digital, with a line that makes your pulse jump. Read the line again and see the invitation hidden inside it. You are being asked to step where you once hesitated. You are being asked to hold what you once dropped. You are being asked to claim what you once lent out. Forgiveness may be part of this journey, not to excuse betrayal, but to release yourself from its orbit. You can be wise and kind at once. You can be firm and gentle without apology. You can leave the table without flipping it. When the final evening descends, you will sense completion. Not an ending, but a click. The floor under your feet will feel thicker, the air around your face will feel warmer. Your name will feel like home when you say it to yourself. This is how you win, not by shouting, not by scrambling, but by standing where you belong and letting everything else organize itself around that fact. Your presence is the instruction. If a blessing knocks, open. If a boundary hums, hold. If an old pattern waves, smile and keep walking. If a new path glows, step before you have the words to explain it to anyone else. You are seen now. Not the costume. Not the mask. The marrow. The core. The steady drum that no storm can silence. The one who found you cannot unknow what they know. And neither can you. This is not a warning. It is a welcome. Welcome to the room where your future has been waiting with the lights on. Welcome to the wide table with your name card set at the head. Welcome to the next 3 days, 3 steps into a life built to your measure. Carry this with you. You do not chase what is aligned. You invite it. You do not beg for what is yours. You prepare for it. You do not fear the ones who watch. You bless them from a distance and keep moving. Walk calm. Choose clean. Speak true. And when the moment arrives, and it will, answer like someone who knows the value of their own presence. Because someone has found that you are exactly that. Presence that turns a page. And so you step. And so it opens. And so it begins. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $1.20. Archangel Mitchell says, "You are allowed to arrive without apology. Your choices are not late guests. They are expected visitors at the feast of your becoming. Let the chair scrape. Let the plates glint. Let your name be called into its rightful seat. The one who observed you hoped to define you with a sentence. You answered with a chapter, then a book, and now a whole library of proof. Shelves rise where doubt once stood bare. Over the next stretch of hours, anchor yourself in 3 clean lines. What you believe. What you build. What you bless. Everything else sorts itself beneath that header. Your heart becomes the index that always knows the page. Today, let your breath be your first agreement with peace. Inhale as if you are lifting a curtain. Exhale as if you are opening a door. The room you step into is your own courage. Someone has learned that you are steady under pressure. I expected a tremble and met a mountain. They tried to triangulate your weakness and found a horizon. If a whisper tries to bend your name, let it bend alone. Your name stands upright by itself, tall like a lamp on a clean table. People gather where the lamp is lit. Archangel Mitchell says your calm is not silence. It is structure. You are the scaffolding for the life you asked for, and it holds. Even when winds perform their drama, the beams do not argue with the weather. They simply stand. On the morning of day 1, you move with clarity as if each footfall has a caption. This step releases the past. This step invites the right eyes to see. This step declines the wrong door with kindness. You clear your digital spaces with intention, a box emptied, drafts decided, photos sorted, notes titled. A clean field invites a true harvest. You return key messages with precision. Not a speech, not a ramble. Just the distilled truth that leaves no stray meanings. The path thanks you for removing debris. In the midday light, you choose nourishment that steadies your body. Water that glides like honesty. Food that reminds yourselves they are here to help you win. By evening, you can feel the weight of old patterns sliding off like a coat you've outgrown. The air on your shoulders feels new. Your spine approves. On day 2, you begin before you are asked. Your initiative becomes a quiet bell that rings through closed doors. People look up and understand that momentum has a face. You set one firm boundary in the morning and one gracious boundary at noon. Firm says this is the gate. Gracious says this is the way through. The person who found you tests the edges of your resolve. They do it gently at first, then cleverly. You answer with clarity that cannot be misread. You make space for a call that matters and cancel a meeting that pretended to. Your calendar no longer accepts imposters. Time itself breathes in relief. Afternoon brings a small confirmation, an aligned reply, an open slot, a contract line corrected in your favor. It's not a thunderclap. It's a lock clicking open. The sound is soft but final. Between sunset and night, you write 3 promises to yourself and sign them with the full weight of your name. Promise to keep your peace expensive. Promise to keep your yes rare. Promise to keep your craft sacred. Day 3 dawns with proof. The thing you held by faith arrives with form. It fits as if it were measured against your ribs. You answer opportunities with cadence, not rush. Cadence respects the rhythm of your future. Hush disrespects everything it touches. Were you used to explain yourself in paragraphs? You now state a sentence. Were you used to chase doors? Doors now practice coming to you. A reversal like this does not need applause. It needs stewardship. Archangel Mitchell says stewardship is devotion made practical. You schedule like you schedule calls. You protect sleep like you protect signatures. You speak to trusted allies with candor. You do not perform scarcity to be liked. You do not perform urgency to be believed. The one who found you begins to recalibrate. Control loses its costume. Respect tries it on instead. In a quiet corner of the day you review your list of 5. Peace, boundaries, craft, beloveds, future self. The list breathes like a living animal, warm and vigilant. It keeps watch while you keep going. You walk into a room that once made you small and notice the ceiling move. It is higher, further, generous. Sometimes the room did not shrink you, the was to grow. In the spaces between tasks you let joy leak in. A psalm with no agenda. A light on the floor that paints your feet gold. A memory that returns to tell you it forgives you for surviving. You release the need to convince. Convincing is a net that tangles. Conviction is a wind that carries. You practice clarity and money to what you charge, what you save, what you give, what you no longer fund with your energy. Wealth begins as attention. Attention begins as love. When your name is mentioned in rooms you are not in, it arrives with a posture. It does not bow to distortion. It bows only to truth. If a test appears, it will arrive disguised as something you used to want. Recognize the costume. Thank the lesson. Continue. Your work becomes water. It finds its level. It refuses to be hurried but never stops moving. It carves canyons without shouting. You greet feedback like weather. Coat when it's cold, shade when it's heat, umbrella when it rains. You do not argue with the sky. You prepare. The next 3 days are not a countdown to panic, they are a count up to presence. 1. You show up. 2. You stay aligned. 3. You receive what recognizes you. 4. A name you haven't heard in months returns with right timing. 5. There is no wobble in your voice when you answer. 6. There is only the soft authority of someone who knows where they stand. 7. You correct a small concoct cause. 8. You refuse a right deadline. 9. You ask for the real number behind the pretty number. 10. You do this without flinching. The discovery about you has spread to ears that value building over spectacle. They do not flirt with your time. They honor it. You feel the difference immediately. At midday, you send a message to your future self. I kept the gate. I held the line. I watered the field. Your future self replies without words, only warmth. You feel guided movement in your hands, organizing, arranging, composing. Your mind stops looping old rehearsals and begins scoring new music. The melody fits your stride, Archangel Mitchell says. When the door opens, walk as if you belong, because you do. Belonging is not a prize someone hands you. It is a room that recognizes your heartbeat. Step in and let the walls adjust to your width. You choose a pace that can be lived with for years. Sustainable, breathable, human. You become allergic to sprints that end in collapse. Evening brings a moment of holy ordinariness. You refit a meal, you fold a shirt, you wash a cup. Victory lives here too. Your boundaries begin to feel like artwork instead of fences. Clean edges, honest lines, colors that tell the truth. Someone who used to drain you attempts a re-entry. You nod at the door and keep it closed. Love is not access. Love is clarity. Your circle tightens by one, expands by one, and the math works out. You learn that subtraction and addition can both be blessings. Pression is the geometry of peace. You revisit your oldest dream and notice how it has matured. It no longer begs for the stage, it asks for the right stage. You agree to be selective. Language sharpens. Maybe becomes not now. We'll see becomes this is the plan. Small edits, enormous outcomes. You edit your own self-talk with the same respect you give to contracts. No insults. No catastrophizing. Only honest instruction. The one who found you realizes that discovery and ownership are not twins. They can observe, admire, collaborate. They cannot claim. Your life is not lost and found. It is sovereign territory. Night of Day 3 carries a hush that is not empty. It is full of completed threads. You can feel the tapestry holding. You rest without bargaining. No more trading sleep for approval. No more letting adrenaline pretend to be strategy. Morning returns like a friend who knows the way. It brings a clear sky and a short list. You follow both. From here forward, your presence narrates your life better than any bio. People will sense the clean line in you before you speak. They will orient to it. Archangel Mitchell says, "Go where your clarity is welcomed." You are not obligated to be legible to every eye. You are obligated to be loyal to your truth. A quiet surge of confidence settles in your chest. Not the loud kind that needs a crowd. The river kind that knows it will find the sea. You begin to recognize your influence by the health it leaves behind. People breathe easier after meeting you. Rooms feel less fogged. Plans feel more possible. Carry kindness like currency that never devalues. Carry honesty like a compass that never demagnetizes. Carry joy like a small flame that knows how to survive wind. You gather your tools, your craft, your data, your timing, your rest. You refuse to build with borrowed urgency and brittle promises. You build with rhythm and respect. The person who once underestimated you revises their notes. They stop writing your story in pencil. They start listening to you write it in ink. You do not punish yourself for what you did not know before you knew it. Mercy is a strategy. It keeps your nervous system partnered with your vision, if your past knocks. It may be delivering a receipt, not a bill. Paid in full by growth, stamped and filed by time. The admiration you receive now is cleaner. It does not want to drink you dry. It wants to stand beside a steady stream and learn its flow. In partnerships, you choose reciprocity as the baseline. Give and receive with the same open hand. Agreements are alive and they thrive with oxygen, not chokeholds. You bless your former self for surviving on crumbs and still managing grace. You bless your current self for choosing the table. You bless your future self for building more chairs. Your voice gathers a new gravity, sentences land where they are supposed to. People don't just hear you. They align to what you mean. You become uninterested in proving and utterly devoted to practicing. Practice turns talent into trust. Trust turns opportunity into legacy. Archangel Mitchell says this is legacy season, not performance season. Legacy breathes beyond applause. It leaves rooms cleaner than it found them. You track your energy the way a gardener tracks weather. You know when to plant, when to prune, when to rest the soil. You do not yank a seed to make it sprout faster. Small excellence compounds. The well-labeled folder. The on-time reply. The thoughtful silence where others perform noise. A letter that once frightened you now reads like a formality. Fear loses its italics. Courage gets the headline. You start recognizing delays as choreography, not sabotage. A pause gives the light time to move into the right angle. When it does, everything is visible without strain. Wherever you show up, you carry completion in your posture. People lean in because unfinished things want to be near finished things. The magnet is integrity. You treat your attention like a precious mineral. You do not scatter your grass clear. You invest it in ground that grows. The next 3 days are a key turning slowly in a lock that was made for you. Each click is a choice. Each swing is a permission. You release dramatics in favor of depth. You release spectacle in favor of substance. You release chasing in favor of choosing. The rumor about you, strength, steadiness, grace under pressure, has been confirmed. The confirmation did not need a stage. It needed your yes. You stack honest days and call it success. You stack clean agreements and call it wealth. You stack peaceful nights and call it wisdom. Archangel Mitchell says, walk in like the answer you were waiting for. Not loud, not timid, true. Your feet remember where truth lives. This is the part where rooms open ahead of schedule. This is the part where calls feel easier. This is the part where your name fits in your mouth like a blessing you finally learned to pronounce. Keep your rituals simple and real. Dvecha. Twigwort. Write one sentence that tells tomorrow what to do. Then let tomorrow thank you. You have stepped into the current that always belonged to you. It carries you without rushing you. It respects your breath. People who love you will find you easier to love now that you love yourself without negotiation. People who use you will find you difficult as they should. The world rearranges around the truth you hold. The next 3 days are not an interruption. They are reveal. They tell the world what your soul already knew. the one who found you has a choice to honor or exit. Both are acceptable. Only one is aligned. You will not miss what is yours. What is yours will not miss you. Convergence is patient and precise. Your life becomes a room with windows on every wall. Light arrives from angles you did not anticipate. Shadows have nowhere to hide. If a final test arrives, it will ask you to pick between an old costume and your new skin. Skin breathes. Costume itches. Choose breath. You end these days with a certainty that does not need defense. It sits in your chest like a lighthouse that knows its job. Ships navigate by it. Storms respect it. Archangel Mitchell says you have crossed the threshold. The door behind you is grateful. The door ahead of you is open. Continue, beloved. Continue clear. Continue calm. Continue chosen. Archangel Mitchell says you are not here to be decoded by those who refuse to honor what they read. Let their confusion belong to them while your clarity belongs to you. Translation is not your job when your presence already speaks fluently. You trust the slow-cooked timing of your life. You step where the ground feels conversational, not combative. You stop watering gardens that only grow resentment. In these hours, prepare a small sanctuary where decisions feel lighter. A chair by a window. A page that knows your handwriting. A cup that remembers your hands. Sacred does not mean complicated. It means honest. Your attention becomes a lighthouse for what matters. It rotates steadily and refuses to chase lost ships. The sea respects a constant beam. Someone may try to repeat an old story about you. You nod to the past like a courteous traveler and then keep driving toward the daylight. You will not park in a memory. Archangel Mitchell says keep your words warm and your standards firm. Warm words allow repair. Firm standards prevent erosion. A mentor-shaped voice will show up in an unexpected place. They will not arrive with smoke and trumpets. They will bring a sentence that unlocks a week of calm. Listen for the sentence that feels like a key. You are allowed to keep your victories quiet while they root. Not every bloom needs an audience to be real. Growth makes its own sound once you stop grounding it with announcements. These 3 days continue to gather around your name like gathered fabric at the waist, shaping the silhouette of a clean future. You sense the fit is right because your breathing deepens. When breath expands, truth is room. You are not obligated to argue with anyone who prefers the old version of you. Let them mark of a story that no longer streams. Your life is the live broadcast. Mid-morning brings a nudge to send a message you've delayed. You send it without theater and without apology. Your cursor becomes a signature that respects your time. The one who found you revisits their assumptions. They measure your kindness and mistake it for permission and learn the difference. Kindness is a gift. Permission is an agreement. You treat your peace like a passport that requires stamps only from places that honor it. No more crossing borders that confiscate your rest. No more customs that tax your self-respect. An ID you once shelved steps forward with a clearer face. You examine it under better light and notice it still loves you. You choose it with adult patience and youthful joy. You practice ending conversations when they become mazes. Straight lines keep your day free. Confusion is not a sign to dig. It is a sign to rise. Archangel Mitchell says, your discernment is your quiet thunder. People hear it even when you whisper. Doors feel it even before you knock. You return to your list of 5 and feel how alive it is. Peace, boundaries, craft, beloveds, future self. Each line is a live wire carrying the current of your next chapter. You do not touch the wire with doubt. You touch it with commitment. Afternoon reveals a subtle test dressed like a compliment. He offers a shiny shortcut that empties your integrity. You choose the steady road that pays you in dignity. You begin to love the friction that comes with growth. Fiction polishes, not punishes. Your edges are becoming mirrors. A message arrives with a timeline that once would have panicked you. Today, you convert the panic into planning. Planning is how you teach time to respect you. You give your body what it asked for last week. Water, a walk, and 1 honest hour offline. Your nervous system unclenches like a hand releasing a stone. The quiet that follows is usable. Light hands you a memory where you were underestimated. Instead of replaying the sting, you replay the proof that followed. Your story edits itself in favor of the truth. On the next morning, your voice has the weight of rest. You make 3 calls that used to steal your breath. On take more than 10 minutes, you find that courage has a sound when it lands. It does not roar, it clicks. Click, like a belt that finds the right notch. You study the offers on your table in separate invitation from imitation. Invitation widens your life. Imitation tries to wear it. Archangel Mitchell says, practice devotion to the unglamorous excellence that builds empires quietly. The labeled folder. Labate breathe. The calendar block you actually keep. You forgive yourself for every time you traded peace for proximity. Clarity returns like a tide that never forgot you. The shore receives you without questions. The one who found you attempts a second test, this time with urgency masquerading as care. You translate urgency into accuracy before responding. Accuracy saves what panic ruins. You redirect your attention to the signal you trust most. Your own alignment. External noise loses its voltage. Internal truth powers the room. A delayed opportunity returns wearing better terms. You negotiate without flinging, without apology, and without theater. Results arrive that respect your breath. Midday opens a window and your future leans in. It smells like fresh paper and new wood. It looks like a calendar that fits your soul. You recall an old compliment you once doubted. Today, you try it on and it fits. Growth is the tailor that adjusted you silently. A friend calls and you answer with unhurried presence. Eremitum nermen sine vis virum. The conversation feeds the day instead of nibbling it. Archangel Mitchell says, you are difficult to derail because you are difficult to divide from yourself. Mixed signals cannot multiply inside a unified heart. Your yes and no stand together like pillars. Evening brings a gentle inventory of your agreements. Anything that wobbles under scrutiny gets revised or released. This is how you stop hemorrhaging time. You curate your inputs like a museum of attention. No loud, cheap exhibits. Only work that instructs your future to be generous. A quiet joy covers the room as you align tasks with purpose. A do becomes to true, each checkmark is a small ceremony. A one who found you begins to mirror your clarity. People treat you according to the script you rehearse with yourself, you wrote yours. They noticed. You place your hand over your heart and thank every version of you that carried the weight without applause. Gratitude thickens your floorboards. Your steps sound confident even to your own ears. Morning returns with letters of confirmation you did not beg for. The timing feels like rain on a house you built right. Shelter is the proof of wise plans. You choose your next learning with precision. Not everything that shines is a skill. Not everything that moves is progress. Archangel Mitchell says, you will not miss your moment while walking at a human pace. The right door knows your gate. The hinges welcome your rival. You end a lingering loop by telling the truth once. Loops hate clarity because it breaks their circle. The line you draw becomes a road. Your calendar now reads like a love letter to your priorities. Rest appears on it like a non-negotiable signature. Creativity shows up on time because you invited it properly. You begin to see how wealth accumulates where attention is honest. Honest attention chooses clean systems. Clean systems choose you back. The discovery about you has matured into respect. Those who tried to handle you now prefer to hold space for you. The difference is safety. The final test arrives wrapped in nostalgia. It asks you to give away a boundary to prove your heart. You keep your boundary and prove your wisdom. Archangel Mitchell says, from this point, your yes is a vow and your no is a blessing. Both protect the life you are finally living. Both honor the future you promised. You end the day with a room that looks like a plan, surface is cleared. Next steps visible. Tomorrow's beginning placed gently where your morning hands will find it. This is victory's quiet costume. It fits you without pins. You sleep with the confidence of someone who met themselves and agreed to stay. The night holds you steady like a boat in a faithful harbor. In the morning, the tide will lift you again without a single shout. You wake to an absence of dread and realize that peace is not an accident. It's architecture. You built it brick by brick when no one clapped. Now it echoes your name without strain. Archangel Mitchell says, continue like this and the next 3 days will become your new baseline. Not a sprint. A stride. Not a miracle that expires. An environment that sustains. You look back briefly to bless the path, then face forward to honor the road, the blessing, and the honor shake hands inside your chest. You step and the world steps with you. Archangel Mitchell says, the path ahead is clean where you walk clean. Your steps are contacts with your future and every honest stride is a signature in light. Continue in this clarity and the hours will turn themselves like pages that already know the story. You wake with a steadier spine and a kinder voice toward yourself. The mirror does not argue. It reflects a person who kept their promise in quiet ways. Quiet is not small. Quiet is focused. Set the tone of your morning with 3 anchors. Breath, order, and intent. Breathe until your ribs remember room, order your space until your mind receives the hint. Intent turns your day into choreography instead of chaos. Your calendar becomes a map with real roads, not scribbles. This map respects destinations more than detours. You carry your name like a credential that cannot be forged. The one who found you reads it with new respect. Your old strategy of guessing no longer applies. The first task glides instead of grinds. You complete it and place it gently aside, a finished stone in the foundation. Foundations are never glamorous, yet they carry kingdoms. Mid-morning, a choice arrives wearing two honest coats. One coat is familiar ease and shallow applause. The other coat is deep work and long harvest. You select the coat that will still fit in a decade. You wear it without announcing its label. Your choices do the speaking while you do the building. Archangel Mitchell says, devotion is how you make time your ally. When you are devoted, clocks become colleagues, not critics. Minutes bring their own tools and work beside you. An old pattern attempts to land like a bird on your shoulder. You notice. You nod. You do not offer a perch. Attention without hospitality dissolves the habit. Afternoon brings a signal that is as soft as a green light. A phrase in a message lines up with your inner compass. Alignment tastes like cool water on a warm day. You reply with clarity and leave no bait for confusion. You do not decorate sentences with apologies for existing. Your words are simple and therefore strong. You place a boundary around your after hours and guard it with kindness. This kindness is not an excuse. It is a policy. Policies protect the future from impulsive theft. Evening asks for a small ceremony of completion. The list hums with earned quiet. You sleep like a builder who trusts the blueprint. Not because of luck, but because of alignment. The nervous system loves a plan that includes mercy. Morning returns with a nudge to advance something by one meaningful inch. Not a leap. Not a stunt. An inch. Inches compounded make bridges. Archangel Mitchell says the bridge is already under your feet. You are not on the edge of a cliff. You are on the start of a span. Walk it with deliberate grace. A voice from yesterday tries to rent space in today. You preserve your peace and redirect the conversation to the present. Presence is full price. Distraction is a discount you no longer offer. You open a document you once avoided and discover it is smaller than your memory of it. Fear exaggerates. Focus measures. Measurement always wins. A new ally steps forward. Someone who values integrity like oxygen. You feel how easy it is to breathe around them. Collaboration begins where oxygen flows. Together you remove one sticking point that made progress squeal. The machinery of your plan runs smoother than yesterday. Small oil, great motion. Archangel Mitchell says honor the rhythm that keeps you human. Pause when the body speaks. Work when the spirit sings. Midday you revisit your 5 lines. Peace, boundaries, craft, beloveds. Future self. Each line receives a simple action. This is how values become visible. You send gratitude where it belongs, not where it will be noticed. Gratitude is a gardener. It multiplies what it touches. Show it the soil you want filled. A request arrives framed as a compliment but priced as a cost to your sender. You admire the frame. Decline the price. Keep your center. Elegance can be firm. The one who found you meets a version of you that cannot be managed by flattery. They adjust or they exit. Either way, respect remains in the room. Evening closes with a gentle audit of your inputs. Headlines that spike your cortisol are retired from rotation. Art that steadies your breath is invited in. You relabel your rest as strategic infrastructure. Bridges collapse without pillars and you refuse to be a collapsed bridge. Pillars do not apologize for standing still. Archangel Michael says this steadiness is not a phase. It is identity. Identities shape outcomes the way riverbends shape water. You have been deepening your riverbed. A message arrives with better terms than the ones you once begged for. You accept them with the quiet dignity of someone whose standards matured. Dignity signs with clean ink. You look around and realize your life is becoming compatible with your values. Compatibility reduces friction. Reduced friction compounds momentum. A small financial decision aligns with long strategy. You choose patience over spectacle. Spectacle fades. Strategy feeds. Mid-afternoon, you build a buffer in your day where emergencies cannot trespass. Emergencies that are not yours learn to solve themselves. Ownership of other people's panic is a habit you retired. The one who found you now sees why they were drawn and why they cannot direct. Light reveals but does not obey those who do not carry it. Your obedience belongs to truth. Archangel Michael says, let good news find you working. Work without panic. Work without apology. Work with the calm that scares chaos. You invest in your tools, software, notebooks, systems that respect your mind. Tools are boats for the future you believe in. You cast those votes daily. Your circle contracts by one and expands by one. And the math keeps your peace intact. The subtraction returns your energy. The addition multiplies your courage. Evening gives you a quiet doorway, you step through by releasing one unfinished argument with the past. The silence on the other side tastes like relief. Sleep comes quickly. The way it does when the day did not borrow from tomorrow. You wake with a body that trusts your choices. Trust is a medicine and you took the dose. Archangel Michael says, arrive at the table without the need to justify your chair. The chair was carved for you by your persistence. Sit and let your work speak. A contact face tries to hide a hook in its closes. You read slowly until the hook shows. You remove it and keep the agreement clean. You test your decisions against your 5 lines and each one rings true. Peace nods. Boundaries hold. Craft deepens. Beloveds feel seen. Future self smiles. Midday. You learn to convert compliments into fuel without letting them become steering wheels. Fuel helps. Steering belongs to you. Hands stay on your own wheel. The one who found you becomes a partner only if they can honor your rhythm. Rhythm is the true calendar. It does not answer to noise. Noise quiets or leaves. Archangel Mitchell says, your language is now a blueprint others can build from. Speak in beams and joists, not smoke and glitter. Structures rise on clarity, you check in with yourself the way a wise captain checks the sea. Depth, wind, time. Then you sail accordingly. No bravado, just seamanship. A small wind arrives and you give it the respect of documentation. Loads today prevent confusion tomorrow. Your future self sends a quiet thank you. Late afternoon. You exchange a crowded yes for a clean no, the air pressure in your life normalizes. Breathing room becomes standard, not luxury. You place joy on the schedule like any serious priority. Joy is not dessert, it is fuel. Your best decisions are made from a nourished center. Archangel Mitchell says, where you are going, your calm is currency. Calm closes gaps that force could never bridge. Calm lets truth hear itself. Light folds the day with edges that do not scratch. You rest with the right kind of tired, the kind earned by aligned work. This tired heals. Days move and the 3-day window transforms from countdown to cadence. What was crucial becomes customary. What was intense becomes integrated. You realize the discovery about you was never the threat, it was the mirror. The mirror did not change you, it showed you. Now you live accordingly. The one who found you learns the final lesson. Revelation is not ownership. A step back into their lane or step forward to respect. Either way, you remain sovereign. Archangel Mitchell says, keep walking like a fact. Facts do not shout. Facts do not flinch. Facts stand. You gather your week into a simple summary. Progress made. Peace protected. People honored. Patterns released. The simplicity hums like a well-tuned engine. You trust the sound. Your name circulates in rooms that match your integrity. When opportunities arrive, they fit. When they don't, they slide away without drama. You keep a promise to move your body in gratitude for carrying your vision. Movement shakes lose the last dust of doubt. Doubt leaves when the body proofs. Evening returns with a soft instruction. Maintain. Not grind, not grasp. Maintain. Maintenance is how miracles become normal. You step into the next morning with the ease that comes after long practice. Ease does not mean needed, it means and for. Unforced is the new flag on your mast. Archangel Mitchell says, this is how you stay found and never controlled. Stay clear. Stay kind. Stay chosen.